To start solving this problem, I'm going to write some methods first. Methods are little blocks of code between curly braces, and I can get my buttons to trigger my methods. So I'm going to have a method for each of the buttons. I'll start with the +3 points button. I'm going to type public void. Now this is when you would type the method name. And you should feel free to name the methods whatever you'd like. And I say that as long as it makes sense. So I'm going to try to name this method very explicitly what's going to happen when you click the +3 points button. So this method name is going to be add 3 for team A. And again, you could name it something a little bit different, like add 3 points for team A. Okay, now after that, I'm going to type the method parameters. And you don't know too much about this, but you'll learn about it more in the next lesson. It's going to be view with a capital V, and then the letter V. And now I'm going to make an open curly brace, and Android Studio is smart enough to give me a closed curly brace to close my method. And now any statements that I put in here are going to be what happens when this method gets called. So what I want to happen is for it to display for team A, and then I'm going to give it the number that I want it to display, and I want it to display 3. Now this hasn't been associated to my buttons yet, so I have to go back to my XML, and I'm going to go to the button that's +3 points, this one right here, and I'm going to add an onClick attribute. And in this onClick attribute, I'm going to give it the exact same name that I gave the method in my main activity. And actually, Android Studio is jumping the gun a little bit. It's even trying to suggest that I should put in here add 3 for team A, because it kind of sees all the methods that are available in main activity, and this one seems to fit the bill. So sure, I'm going to click on this. Okay, so now I have the onClick attribute here with this button that says +3 points, and it's going to trigger add 3 for team A. And I could go back to my main activity and see that inside of add 3 for team A, it says display for team A 3, which will make 3 appear on the screen for the score. Let's make sure all of that logic is correct. Okay, here's my app, and I'm going to press the +3 points. Yay, and it says 3. Might be kind of small on your screen, but believe me, it says 3. These other buttons don't work though, so that's as expected because we didn't change any of the code for them. All right, let's keep working. So now that I know that that worked, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other 2 buttons. In fact, I'm going to do such the same thing that I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it twice. And I'm just going to say add 2 for team A and add 1 for team A. And here, I'm going to change this to displaying 2 and this to displaying 1. Okay, so that's pretty much the same thing for 2 and 1 that I did for adding 3 points, but I also have to remember to go over to the XML. So I click to go over here. Okay, and I'm going to add 2 more onClicks. So for my +2 points button, I'm going to do a onClick. And oh, how nice of it. It's giving me 3 different options now, and I want to make sure to select the right one. So this is +2 points, so I'm going to select add 2 for team A. And now I'm going to come down here, type onClick, and select the add 1 for team A. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty confident that that's going to work. I'd bet some money on it, but I should still run it to test it out. Okay, so I press +3, still works. I press +2. Oh, cool, it says 2. And now I press free throw, and it shows 1. So awesome, I've completed the task. And because I've completed the task, I get the honor of checking this box off.